Chaim Bloom entered MLB back in 2005, and Chaim had a pretty lengthy career, putting together quite a few different achievements. Working with the small market Rays, he learned how to build a true good MLB team without spending money. Since 2019, they've made the postseason every single year. That was a team that Chaim Bloom helped to build, but in 2019, he left Tampa Bay. The division rival, Boston Red Sox, ended up hiring him as the president of baseball operations. Chaim Bloom was now in charge of rebuilding the Red Sox. This ended up being a failure. Wait, no, that's kind of an understatement. This was awful. He did a pretty bad job managing to get himself fired in 2023. But the St. Louis Cardinals just hired him for this season, so why is he so awful? Well, we could start with a few different things, but he is hated in Boston because of his management with Mookie. Mookie Betts, the franchise player, the very first move of the Chaim era was trading him away. It may have been inevitable, but a lot of fans really just give him crap because he did trade Mookie Betts. It's not just that, though. It's also the return. They got Alex Verdugo, Connor Wong, and Jeter Downs. Not a good return at all, and the Red Sox were rebuilding in 2020. Then 2021 comes along, and the Red Sox are surprisingly really good. At the trade deadline, Chaim Bloom was aggressive, and he traded for Kyle Schwarber. This was a great move for Boston, going all the way into the ALCS. Unfortunately, they did lose, but it was still a very promising year with a very promising team. But on the team building aspect, they had a lot more to do. Schwarber was a free agent and he needed to be extended. What did Chaim do? He didn't extend him and he let him walk. Instead of Schwarber, he elected for a completely new player at a completely new position. That would be a defensive shortstop with Trevor Story. 6-year contract, $140 million. His 2022 went poorly, missing almost half the year, and his statistics were not good. Kyle Schwarber, on the other hand, with his new team, had 46 home runs. Clearly a very bad decision by Chaim Bloom to move on and elect for a different option. To go along with that, the Red Sox were awful in 2022. One of the worst bullpens, one of the worst pitching groups, just a bad team. In that offseason, Chaim had a lot of work to do. The team's two best pitchers with Michael Wacha and Eovaldi were both free agents, so Chaim said screw it, and he just didn't bring back his two best pitchers. Instead, he signed Masataka Yoshida and Kenley Jansen. The team had a massive problem with starting pitching, and his philosophy was, okay, let's do nothing about it. Oh wait, let's go and sign Corey Kluber on a 1-year, $10 million deal and hope that he's somehow a Cy Young pitcher again. Plus, James Paxton was coming back from an injury, so he said, okay, now we have Kluber, now we have Paxton. We got better. Kluber put up a 7 ERA with the team, Paxton had a 4.50 ERA. They indeed were not better. They lacked a true star in that rotation badly, and he did nothing about it. He elected to not do anything at the trade deadline. He didn't sell, he didn't buy. He had an offer here at the trade deadline to trade Justin Turner to the Marlins. And who would he be getting back? Edward Cabrera. He said no to that, even with Turner in a contract year with a team who was not very promising for a postseason push. They needed pitching, and he denied it. They ended up going 78-84 and of course missed the playoffs. He was fired before the season even ended. Chaim Bloom built a top 3 farm system in baseball, but his decision making was awful. We even got a report that said a team was willing to take all of Chris Sale's contract in a trade. He said no to that, and that's the biggest problem. He was not willing to make the bold moves, to make the moves that are risky but could likely even help your team more than anything. Yes, he was working under a budget according to reports, but there were still just so many dumb decisions made. Boston's ownership agreed with that, and that's why they moved on. Here in January, we got a report that Chaim Bloom is going to a new team. That team was the Cardinals. They had brought him on as an advisor to their baseball operations. What this means is he's going to be the second guy in charge. This has been rumored for quite a few months actually, and it finally happened. Obviously, social media disagreed with the situation because why wouldn't they? I understand not liking this move, I really do. At the MLB level, he's failed at getting true starting pitching. At the minor league level, he's failed at draft drafting starting pitching. Also, the prospects he drafted in Boston still haven't hit MLB yet, so we don't even know if he is some sort of a wizard when it comes to a good farm system. So if you're hesitant because of all of that, I definitely do get it, but I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of upside with Heim in this role. I say this role specifically because he isn't 100% in charge. He is only an advisor, which I do think is going to be big, but he's not 100% in charge. It is going to be a limited role with Heim Bloom, which is smart. You have a guy who can go and make very good draft choices, and you know what? Their farm system was ranked at number 13 in MLB last year. Now you have a guy who seems to know what he's doing in the draft. But again, his pitching development has been poor, and that's really not something that I would be excited about. Some say it's a highlight about the Rays that they're able to develop pitching. Well, yeah, he has failed, but at the same time, just go and look at some of the guys, because he has had some talent. Garrett Whitlock was a Heim Bloom guy, great 2021, great 2022. Bullpen arm Brennan Bernardino, I guess, was solid in 2023, but yeah, it's pretty poor. Outside of a few guys, he has just struggled with pitching. As far as the trades go, he's definitely had a few, trading 2 bullpen arms for Nick Pivetta, which obviously ended up working for Boston. Trades were really his weak side, and I would probably say that that one was his best trade. Now, looking past pitching, he did have another really good trade. That was, of course, trading Christian Vasquez for Wilyer Abreu and Emmanuel Valdez. Those 2 prospects are going to be big for the 2024 Red Sox. So, I think it's pretty safe to say he's made a lot of dumb moves, he's made a lot of smart moves. Overall, this guy can work in an advisor role. We'll see what happens, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think, and peace out.